Hey everyone, and welcome to module number 2 of the Coaches Academy. We're looking this time at the foundation of your business. Think about a house. Houses just won't really stand up if they don't have a very solid foundation, and that's what you need to have in your business, a solid foundation. Last month, you guys put so much work into working out what your vision was and where you wanted to be, and your big why and why you did this in the first place. Why have you decided to go into this entrepreneurial journey and be your own boss? Absolutely loved reading Where Everyone Wants to Be, and thank you so much for doing exactly what we told you to do in Thinking Big. Thinking big is so important because it always gives you that extra little bit to strive for. And if you don't think big and you're just thinking small, then it's difficult to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and get yourself to that next place. So what are we going to do in this module? First thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a little look back and appraise what you did over the course of the first module. And this is really important because this is not a case of just jumping from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. This is a case of month by month building on what you've done the month before. So your business is not little bits, it's building upon everything that you're doing. So you're always growing, you're always adding to where you are, you're always building, you're learning, you are trying to perfect what you've got, you're making it better, you are just continually striving for a better product. So what we're going to do is we are going to spend the first part of the course just looking back at what you did last month. What did you achieve? What did you find difficult? And I'll tell you what the big thing for me is, how did you treat this course and that module in the big scheme of your life? Did you look at it as a little task that you had to do on the side, or did you actually treat it as a business? Did you give it your all, or was it something that was an afterthought in your own mind? In other words, did you do it after you've done everything else? Did you keep thinking inside your own mind, I've got to do that course, I need to do that course, I need to do that course? Or did you get up on a Sunday knowing what the week ahead looked like, knowing how much time you were going to spend on your business, and knowing at the start of each day that you were going to do 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, perhaps an hour and a half on your business? Did you go beyond what I actually asked you to do in the module that we had there? Or did you just answer the questions and wait for me to prompt you? So in other words, did you react to the feedback that you were getting from Chris and I, or were you proactive? Were you looking at it and were you saying, Chris, Virginia, I've done this. Challenge me a bit further. What else can I do? How can I get a little bit more here? Or were you just answering the questions and throwing it out there? And what I'm going to say to you is, if you were just answering the questions and throwing the answers into that, you have to go back again and you have to look at your big why. You have to look at why you're here. Why are you doing this business? Is it because you want to make extra money? Is it because you want to replace the job that you've got at the moment? Or is it your next step in life? You're not doing this just on a whim. You're doing this for a reason, and you need to think really long and hard at what your why is, what your reason is, and then you have to treat this as something that is important in your life. So it shouldn't be an afterthought, it should be planned into your days. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to look at that, and I want you to think really long and hard about why you're doing this. And that why is something that we will definitely look at every single month as we go through this course. So I want you to do that. I want you to take back a look, think back, and have a look at your learnings. What did you learn? How organised were you? What changes would you make? And then to set a goal for the month going forward. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve at the end of this month? So that's the introduction, and that's where we're at for this next module. What I then want you to do is, you're going through this, we're going to look really in depth at the client. So I want that client named and standing in front of you. So I've asked you to go back and I've asked you to revisit the client and to go into detail on what that client looks like in your mind, right down to their likes and their dislikes, and then find some people in your network who could be your potential client and people in your network who you absolutely couldn't work with. And it's so good to have those people in your mind, because if anyone ever comes to you, you're going to be thinking, I don't want to work with that person, and you can picture them, you know who they are, and it will trigger in your mind. And it's so important that you work with the right people. We're going to go into detail on that product. You're going to get right down this month in your own mind to putting together an outline of your course. And what we've done there is we've given you some blank sheets of paper, and I want you to create a mind map. And on our first call, we will go through the process of mind mapping, and I'll show you how to do it. But we've left you space there so that you can take each one of the modules in your mind, put down module number 1, and then you'll be drawing out all of your little legs coming out of your circle and all of the ideas that you've got in your mind mapping to build together each one of those modules. And we're going to take you through each one of your modules in your course, through all of that mind mapping. And at the end of that mind mapping, what you're going to do is you're going to put together the framework for your course. And then when we move into the next module, you'll be creating one of those modules. So think hard, take those pieces of paper out for those modules, and don't sit down and do them all at once. Think about them. Have them all sitting out, put them on a board on the wall, stick them up with sticky tack, and keep going back and adding in more thoughts for each module. The best way to do it is to think in your own mind, what do I want these people to get out of each one of those modules? And then from there, you will reverse engineer back on that. Once you've done that, and we've got the client and we've got the product, the next thing that we want to do is to go out there and find your competition. So go out there and find your top 5 competitors. Don't tell me that you can't find your competitors, because you will be able to find your competitors. But find 5 competitors, and then what we want you to do is to stalk them. Like them on Facebook, sign up to their email lists, go through everything that they've posted, look and see what their rate of interaction is. What is a popular post for them? What post is not so popular? So go through all of that and take a look at it. Then go through and comment. I know these people are your competitors. You really won't be a competitor for them right at this stage, but they'll notice you. Go through posts that they've got on their Facebook page or Instagram or wherever else they are. And what I want you to do is I want you to comment on their posts. What I also want you to do is I want you to respond to other people's comments on their posts. So become super interactive. Watch these people. What are they doing? Be conscious of the platforms that they're on. Be conscious of what they're saying. Be conscious of how often they're posting. And you'll see in your worksheet that what you've got there is you have the space to go through, write down the names of each one of those competitors, write down their web address, and then put together a story. You can analyse what they do and then put all of the findings down in the sheet that you've got there. Once you've gone through all 5 competitors and you've looked at all of the things that they do, you will notice that there are similarities, and you're basically building up your own profile here and the things that you need to do to build your own following whenever we get to the stage of posting on social media. Now that you've got those competitors identified, and I just spoke about social media, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up your social media accounts. If you're starting from scratch, then we'll work with you to get those social media accounts set up. And if you already have your accounts set up, then let's take a look at what you've got and how many followers that you've got at this stage, and we can look at growing. So if you're doing your product and things are changing up, you can start to put announcements out there to people who are already following you. And if you're new, all we're going to do at this stage, as I said, is foundations. You are just going to get these accounts set up. So I've made suggestions for everything that you should set up. You want to absolutely have a Facebook account, maybe Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube. You don't need to use all of those platforms, but you want to have at least 3 platforms, and you do want to know how they all work, and you might as well set them all up at this stage anyway. So we're going to get on and get that done, because that is another foundational tool. And the other thing that I want you to do is to take a look at your email list and see who's on that email list. If you already have a business, then have you pulled together all of your email contacts? You can pull the people from Facebook, Instagram, everyone that you've got, and pull them all together. If you haven't set your business up yet, take a look at your email list and how many people on that email list could be a potential client, or someone who could introduce you to a potential client, because you do want to pull them together. At some point in time, you will send out an email to all of these people. If they're not clients, you can email them to say, hey Joe, I'm setting up this business. I'd be really grateful if you could take a quick look, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you know anybody in your network who might be interested in working with me or finding out a little bit more about this? I'd be really grateful for your help. Thanks so much. These are all of the kinds of building blocks that at the very beginning will help you move forward. It's great to go out there and do Facebook advertising, but there's nothing better than being able to pull from the network that you already have. And what's the worst that will happen? People will ignore you, not respond to you, maybe ask you to not email them again. It's really not the end of the world. So I've asked you there as well to go in and take a look at your email list. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look again at your mission statement. So you're going to take a look and you're going to say exactly what it is you want to do. And then what I want you to do is I want you to think ahead. If you've done all of this, what more can you do? Can you refine what you've already written? Can you go back? Can you put it into a more concise manner? Because all of this forms, as I said, the foundation, and you'll need so much of the information that's there to be able to build your business plan and decide where you're going to take this business to in the future. So this is an exciting module as far as I'm concerned. You get to have a deep look at your course and structure that course. I want you to remember that it's not final. All we're doing is putting together the outline and we're structuring this. It is not final. You can go back and you can make changes, and we're not at the stage where we're ready to launch this. Maybe you could, maybe you are, maybe we could launch it, but probably not. But you're at the stage where you're beginning to see results. You're going to have a product, you're going to know what it looks like, you're going to know what you can go out there and sell to the market, so that if you're in the coffee shop and you meet someone and they say, what do you do? You're able to turn around like me and say to them, for my women's business, I help burnt out and overwhelmed professional women retake control of their lives so that they can achieve the goals that they wanted to achieve before they became burnt out and overwhelmed. So there you go. Are you a burnt out and overwhelmed woman? Have you lost control of your life? Are you not able to achieve your goals? Have you not gotten that promotion that you wanted or that salary rise that you wanted? Am I right? I'm your man. I can help you with that. and that's where you ultimately want to be. So have a great time this month. I think this is an exciting module. There's an absolute ton there for you to do. I want you to think long and hard. When I ask you to mind map, make sure those mind map exercises are in depth. You should be filling a big sheet of paper with all of the ideas that you've got in your head. Some of those ideas you can strike out. You might find though, as you begin to progress, that some of those ideas that you wrote down, you could do something else with. So please think long and hard. Do work on those competitors. Stalk your competitors this month and going forward. They will educate you. They will give you so much information, and you'll be able to look at the things that they are doing and say to yourself, that works, that doesn't work. Anyway, we're here for you guys. You can reach out to us at any point in time and ask us questions, and we'll see you on the very first call when we have an in-depth chat on module number 2, the foundation.